In the book of John, Jesus said, "In my Father's house there are many mansions." In my Father's house. House. And then a bunch of mansions fit inside a house. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. If you want to gain your life, you need to lose it. So there's a lot of, I'll have to look up the big word and put it in the description. But there's a lot of that in the Bible. So it goes beyond our human knowledge, our comprehension of God and where He is. And there's no time there. There's no space there. It's just Him. Get it? Him. Some people call this an upside down world, whatever. That's your bag. That's not mine. I wouldn't call it that. I'd call it more like an inside out world. And another example is when they were going to anoint the king in the Old Testament, and the priest went to Jesse's house, I think it was, David's father. And he went through the whole line of sons. There were like 7 from the oldest all the way to the bottom. And the priest said, "Is this it? Is this all the sons you have?" And he's like, "No, we've got a younger son out with the sheep. But you don't want to see him. He's the youngest. He's just a shepherd." And when they went to David, and when he poured the bottle over his head, and then the oil came out, Jesus picks people that you wouldn't pick. He knows the least of these, my brethren. He knows. And He doesn't judge like you do. But anyway, about time and space, and it's going to end one day. And then the 1,000-year reign, okay? During the 1,000-year reign of Christ, which could be in the next 10 years, He could come back before then. So the dead in Christ are going to rise. They're going to have a new body. But there's going to still be living people like we are right now who will have children. So, how does that work? We're going to have people here on earth that are humans that have children and reproduce and get married. I don't know what kind of jobs we're going to have during that 1,000-year reign, but we're all going to go visit Jerusalem in that area once a year. And then we're going to have the people with the resurrected bodies on this earth. It's going to be a trip. Can you figure it out? And then after that 1,000 years, New Jerusalem's going to be here. And it's all going to be different. He's got to have a new name. A new name. He said it. If He wants to change His name, He can do it. A new name. And it goes back to, I don't know how He proved it with science. Chuck Missler explained that there's a limit to smallness. They can go so far with the microscope, and then there's nothing. They can go so far with a telescope, and then there's nothing. There's a limit in this realm that we're in now that Jesus was master over. He walked on water. He walked through walls. We don't see the big picture here. We don't see it. So where God is, where Jesus is, where the Father is, the Holy Spirit, they can make anything out of nothing. They don't need space. They don't need time. They don't need anything. They just wanted some children. And some of you are so spoiled, you don't want to be around you. Anyway, Time and space, there is none there. Because in his house, there are many mansions. Doesn't that tell you something?